ideally we follow the witch's pyramid, which is to know, to dare, to will, to be silent, and or maybe it's dare and will. Anyway, the last part is to be silent, and what that means is to not think about it, not focus on it. You're done. You've released the thought form into the cosmos, and let it take its time. So a lot of times I find that the more I focus on it, the harder time I'm giving the universe the opportunity to send it to me, because for me what I end up doing is like, is it going to be here, is it going to be here, and I start getting this idea of how I'm expecting it to manifest, whereas I was taught decades ago, just say it, will it, and it will be. Do not put any preconceived notions on how it's going to show up. Sometimes, and I'm just going to use a silly example, actually, one that happened to me. We're taught never do love spells on a person, right? Never an individual. What we do is we create a spell to bring love into our life. And I found that all of a sudden I had like manifested all these wonderful friends that just loved me, you know, just loved me as a friend, and want to take care of me and help me and all that. And I'm like, looking back on my manifestation journal, I was like, well, you did ask for it, but you did not specify romantic love. And I was like, oh gosh, yeah, so there could be a dozen different things that are slowing it down. Um, the other thing I will say is that, and again, I break all my own rules and break everything I was taught once in a while. And one of the things is that it is usually, I was trained that when we are going to do any type of manifestation spell, that we consult some form of divination, even if it's a simple 3 card tarot, 3 card spread, a yes or no spread. Like, would it be in my best interest to do this spell? So it really is a good idea. And again, I was trained to do divination before I do my spell. A lot of times I just don't have time, or I'm doing a show or I'm teaching a class, and I want us all to be able to do a manifestation, or I'm with my coven and we're brainstorming what's the spell going to be for the month or something like that, and we won't do a divination first. And the reason why we do a divination is, one, we ask if it's when you do a divination, I should say. Let's say you want to do a spell for a new job or a new home, or let's just start with job and home. So you ask the cards, is it a good idea for me to do a spell for a new home? And you can be clear, a new home in, I don't know, Los Angeles right now. Like, is now a good time for me to do a spell right now in this time of my life? Is it good time to do a spell to manifest a new home in Los Angeles? And just do a 3 card flip. Uh, if you know how to read them, usually 2 up means most likely yes, 2 down means most likely no, 3 up, absolutely yes, 3 down, absolutely no. But if there's 1 card up, that's going to be the obstacle you have to work with. Let's say you ask the cards, I want a new home in Los Angeles this year. Is this a good time for me to do it? You get 2 cards up, 1 card down. Most likely, yes. The upside down card is, but, but you should do this first. So usually the card that's upside down is the obstacle. And that's a great way of learning, and look, I hope this answers your question of learning what's slowing down your manifestation. I find when I do the 3 card spreads, let's say I get an upside down, um, oh, an Ace of Cups. What that's telling me, if that Ace of Cups is upside down and 2 of them are up, so most likely, yeah, it's a great idea. But right now, you're not tapping. I would see that as I'm not tapping into my divine emotional connection, or I'm not tapping spiritually and emotionally into the situation. So therefore, that'll be the obstacle I have to deal with. And then, and this is the answer that nobody likes, sometimes it's just not meant to be. Yeah, yeah. Sometimes it's just not meant to be. Ideally, when we're talking about magic and spells and all that kind of stuff, ideally, the uh, the motive and the intention is going to be coming from your higher self, your higher self. I just like to use that term; it's simpler. It's going to come from your higher self. So that idea, like your higher self, is nudging you. You're using your intuition that it's time to move to Los Angeles, for example. I'm tapping into my intuition. It's lending me, it's pushing me in this direction. Looks like it might be time for me to move to Los Angeles. I'll do a divination and then I'll do a spell, a manifestation spell. But that's because I'm aligning with what's best for me. I'm my awareness is aligned with that of the universe or the goddess or your holy guardian angels, whatever you want to call it. And therefore, the manifestation is going to be a lot quicker. So it's not wrong to do spells of protection. It's not wrong. I mean, for me, this is just me. For me, it's not wrong to do spells of protection. For me, it's not wrong to do spells to, get some quick cash to pay the rent, these, little day to day trivialities. But when it comes to big life changing spells, I think it's important. No, I don't think. I believe that it has to be in alignment with our higher self. So that might slow that down a little bit. Maybe the universe is asking you to work a little bit harder on aligning with your higher consciousness. And that has to do with age or practice, lots of practice.